Welcome back to Need for Speed Unbound. Today, we got our info drop number 3 for NFS Unbound. We got some brand new gameplay, saw some new customization. Spoiler alert, it's absolutely insane. But kind of more importantly than that, today is the day we found out how this game actually works. How you're gonna get money, what you're gonna do with that money, how you can unlock special cars, and all of that type of stuff. And today, we're gonna talk about everything. Chances are you probably already saw this Need for Speed Unbound gameplay trailer that was shared earlier today. And if you're like me, you're probably left with more questions than answers. That's why I went in, I broke down the entire trailer frame by frame, and I figured out some things that the developers didn't actually tell us. So let's jump into this. Real quick though, before we do get into that, every single Tuesday, we're gonna be getting new Need for Speed Unbound gameplay. And coming up very soon is Need for Speed Unbound customization. We're gonna be jumping into that, breaking it all down. If you wanna see that video, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below so you get notified as soon as I post that video. So without further ado, let's jump into the Need for Speed Unbound gameplay. Starting with this, the Weekly Qualifier. Before you can do that though, you need to actually buy into the qualifier with money in the game, and you can get that money by completing challenges throughout the week. Sunday to Friday is challenge time, and time for you to earn as much money as you can as fast as you can. Unfortunately, the developers didn't actually go into too much information for how these challenges actually work throughout the week. Like, are you gonna have to come back to the game every single day to complete the challenge? Or can you just come back right before the qualifier, do all of the challenges at once and bang them all out? We don't actually know just yet. We'll have to wait and find out. Again, unfortunately, the developers didn't share too much information for how these challenges actually work, so this is just me guessing. Let me know what you guys think of this in the comment section down below though, but take a look at this screenshot. These are the challenges for the week. So like on Sunday and on Monday, it looks like you've got race events that you can go head to head with in B-class cars. Fairly standard by the looks of it. That's just a guess though. On Tuesday though is where things start to heat up a little bit. On Tuesday morning, it looks like you've got an A+ class of race where you've got to roll the dice. I don't even know what that means right now. But on Tuesday night, it looks like you've got to get a heat level of 3 and then escape from the cops. Very cool. On Wednesday, you've got to take it one step further and get heat level 4 and then escape from the cops. It's actually very cool. And while you're doing all of these challenges, you'll be getting money that you can then go and spend to enter the qualifier. So after you complete every challenge, you'll get a certain amount of money depending on how well you did. At least that's what it seems like. Anyways, you can then take that money and put it towards the weekly qualifier on Saturday. Every Saturday, there is a weekly qualifier that you can take part in to win prizes. However, if you want to enter those weekly qualifiers, you need 2 things. Number 1, you'll need a certain amount of money. So if we jump back to that week that I was showing before, you need 30K to enter that week's qualifier. And you also need a certain class of car. So in this week, you need an A+ class of car. This guy's just using a Lamborghini Countach, which is fast enough. And long story short, if you can pass the qualifier and do well enough, you will unlock, at least in this specific week, a Ford Crown Victoria. If we jump through the different weeks, like week 1, you only need 15K in the bank. Week 2, you need 30K in the bank. And week 3, you need 60K in the bank, but every single qualifier you enter will have a prize associated with it. Spoiler alert, I imagine in the future, this is one of the ways that Need for Speed Unbound might add new cars to the game. Anyways, before we move on to what we're actually qualifying for, one of the other ways that you can actually make money in Need for Speed Unbound is by placing bets against your rival. So take a look at this screen here. You can see we are driving an S+ class of car ranked 400, as fast as the cars can go in this game. And then we've got all of these other people that we can actually bet against. You can see, depending on how fast the person is, you'll earn more or less money, depending on how good they're gonna be. So if we go up against this guy all the way at the bottom, Chilton, he's driving a super slow car, and if we beat him, we're only gonna get 250 bucks, so it's probably not even worth it. Right now, though, I don't know how often we're gonna be able to place like these bets to go up against rivals. Like, are we just gonna be able to farm credits from these things? Maybe. Don't really know. We'll have to see. But anyways, like I was saying, once you've got enough money to enter the qualifier and you pass the qualifier, the fourth Saturday out of every single week is the Grand, the ultimate street racing finale. To enter the Grand, you are gonna need a bunch of cash and a bunch of cars, but if you can do well, again, you will get a special prize. So for this particular one, you need 3 cars to enter from 3 different classes and 125k. One of the things I actually thought was pretty interesting is the developers didn't tell us what you'll win if you complete the Grand Challenge. However, if you look down into the bottom right-hand corner, you can see there is a reward down there, but you might have noticed that's the same reward as week 3. I think this is actually a glitch in the game right now. If you take a look at the car in the background, it's actually a Nissan S14 in there. So I imagine if you complete the Grand Challenge, you will win that Nissan S14 that I showed off in last week's video, and probably some money as well, especially if you're putting up 125k. Honestly though, these whole weekly challenges and monthly challenges actually look really, really cool. I look forward to see what the developers add in there, like if there's gonna be vanity items or cars or like bucket loads of cash. Or maybe they're gonna use this system to introduce new cars over the life of the game. Again, we'll have to see. Let me know what you guys think down below. Anyways, moving on, I briefly wanted to mention the cops in Need for Speed Unbound. The developers said there were new ways for them to pursue you, however, failed to mention what any of those new ways are. However, they did show off 2 of the new cop vehicles, a Ford Raptor that you can see throughout this gameplay being used as like roadblocks, and a Camaro Z28. We haven't had that in recent Need for Speed games, so I'm excited to see what that thing's got. Side note, throughout the gameplay, you'll actually notice as the cops are chasing the player, you can see the player driving on the sidewalks and the pedestrians fully losing their minds, jumping out of the way. I love it. Very cool attention to detail. I wonder if they do it if you're driving a Mustang. Huh. Well, we'll find out. And then we get to the physics for Need for Speed Unbound. And I don't know if it's just me, but based off this gameplay trailer, the physics look very Need for Speed 2015. Now, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but based off the way the cars move at slow speeds, take bounces, and especially slide through the corners, it looks very Need for Speed 2015-esque. Obviously, I haven't played this game for myself just yet, so I can't really comment on if it feels good or bad or anything like that. I'll need to wait to get hands-on, but it's definitely still very arcadey and probably built on the Frostbite engine. We'll have to see though when the game comes out. I'll talk more about the physics after I've played the game for myself at some point in the future, but for now, let's move it on to the cars for Need for Speed Unbound, and specifically, there are 2 that I was able to spot in this trailer that are absolutely mind-blowing. Starting off with number 1, this thing. Yes, I've already mentioned it. This Ford Crown Victoria is absolutely mind-blowing. The wide body kit on this thing is straight out of like a touring car. It is that wide. It's probably like almost 1.5 feet wider than a regular Ford Crown Victoria is. Then it's got this crazy looking rear wing, and all around, honestly, I didn't even know this thing was a Ford Crown Victoria until I saw the rear taillights. Like, I saw it from the front and I was like, is that a Fox body Mustang? And then I'm like, no, that's a Crown Vic. It's mind-blowing what this car looks like. And if you like mind-blowing, you will love this thing. This is a Nissan 240Z, again, with a ridiculous wide body kit and an even crazier rear wing. I love the look of this thing. So far, one of the things I've been most impressed with Need for Speed Unbound is just the absolute insanity of the customization. And these cars are showing us just how crazy you can get, and I cannot wait to see more of the customization in the future. Last but not least though, the final thing I wanted to mention in today's video, we finally got it confirmed. Microtransactions are in the new Need for Speed game. Right at the start of the trailer, it shows in-game purchases. Again, we don't know what that means just yet, but it's probably going to be a store for like vanity items, maybe even a battle pass. We will need to see, or maybe maybe it's just DLC for future cars. We'll have to see. That, though, is where I'm going to wrap up today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, subscribe next Tuesday. More information on Need for Speed Unbound. I will see you guys then. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye.